Uh, what's up, everyone? We're back here on the couch for a little conversation. I have no idea what I look like. I haven't showered yet today. I woke up at 12, worked until 6 yesterday night, and I just had a big moment in myself. And it's about a gift. And I wanted to, as soon as this all settled down, I felt like I really just wanted to talk about it. And here's a little whiskey. Let me just quickly put my phone on silent while I record this. Um, so, okay, first, cheers to you all. I hope sound and image are all good. Whew. Okay, yeah, you know me. Let me get my extra help as well. I just came from a very emotional moment, like very emotional, very intense. But what was very beautiful and interesting about it is that, especially last year, I was dealing with a lot of emotions of pain and grief and just a lot and depression, and it was very deep. It was all very much. And now I just had a massive emotional moment, but it was almost like on the other side of the spectrum. Like I swung out to the almost like bliss kind of category without any substances, without any drugs or alcohol or whatever. And something really just clicked. So about the title of this video, The Gift. Last Friday, I was having, I reflect a lot. I write with ChatGPT. I use it as my active journal diary, sort of. I tend to be pretty good at vocalizing what I feel, and so I write that into ChatGPT, and then I get like a little breakdown of like, oh, okay, yeah, this might be that, and this is interesting, and then something will pop out of what ChatGPT expands upon, and something resonates, and I continue on that little thread, and then usually it's very easy to unravel a lot of things that are going on in me, or find some comfort, or find some excitement, or whatever. The last week on Friday, I had a big emotional few-hour session as well, just like a little self-therapy. And it was about the work that I do and the work I've always done my whole life. And I was very emotional because I love doing this YouTube thing. It's not even about loving it. It's about I just do it. I have to do it. I feel like I have to now capture and share everything that is happening and that what I'm doing. It feels so important, and I'm so, like, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so incredibly grateful for everybody who checks in on my videos, and so many of you keep on checking in, and some of you don't check in for a few videos and then you leave a comment again. That's also amazing. I really want to see my corner of the internet as my little garden, and that doesn't mean that I want to capture you guys. I want to create a beautiful soil for myself, and beautiful things will grow there, and some of you will step into the garden and be there, and you can stay as long as you want, and you're free to leave for a while, and then you can come back or not. And but I am so deeply appreciative of you guys being there, and now I might get emotional all over again, but it really means a lot to me. It's incredibly beautiful, and but there's also this desire for recognition in me, right? Like, I'm building this YouTube channel, and I make the music that I want to make, and I don't make music because I want to get clicks. I make music because I want to make music, and I want to share it, and I only make music when I feel inspired and excited. And recently it's been every day I feel inspired and excited. I mean, who wouldn't be with that setup, right? But so that is how I keep it interesting for myself. I don't make music because I feel like, oh, I have to make music because I need to upload another video today. No, it's just been happening so that now I've been making a lot of music. But there's also always this strive for, like, okay, when will I reach 2,000 subscribers, 5,000, 10,000, a million, whatever. And there's always that strive, and that's very big. And I work very hard. I work a lot. And my whole life is about my music. It's always been that way. And last Friday I had a big emotional moment where it was also just like, yeah, I love what I do. I'm gonna keep on doing it. I'm incredibly grateful for everybody who was already here. But there's also a very real feeling that just wants more. There's a feeling that wants more viewers, more attention to the art that you create, right? I think that's pretty natural as well. Uh, Cheers. Um, and so I had a moment of just seeing how much I do to be the most open channel I can, like channel being for the creativity. Yeah, again, I love what I do, but it's also my whole life is about what I do. That is, yeah. Uh, and so to what made me emotional last week is just appreciating just how much work I put into everything and seeing myself from a bit of a different perspective. Like, wow, that's pretty insane, dude. Also in the lo-fi times, like making 1,300 songs in 2.5 years is inhuman. It's like, it's so much pushing. And then in that sadness, I just like, I always see everything as a lesson, as like, okay, you turn things into beauty in your own storytelling and whatever. But in the most genuine way, I just, in that tiredness, I guess, for wanting more, I just asked the universe for one gift. Can I just for once? And I'm so blessed in my life, right? Like I have it better, I have it so incredibly good. So I try to frame this in the right way. Not that I'm ungrateful, not that I really need more or anything, but with all the work I put in, I just ask the universe in the most genuine way. And I never do this. When I pray for something, when I ask for something, I always like understand that if I don't have it yet, it's not the right time for it, or it will never be the right time for it, or that you need to put in work. That is very normal and very natural. So for the first time in my life, I just asked the universe for a favor, just for a gift, for something that I wouldn't have to work for first, or not some life lesson that I first have to interpret in my own beautiful, complex way in my head. That something can just fall in my lap, that something just like, here you go, free of charge. Here's a little favor from the universe. Et voila, without prior work, without anything. Just to have some blessing fall in my lap. And again, I really want to frame this in the right way, that it's not about I'm so grateful for all of you and everything in my life. I see every day just how good I have it. But yeah, that feeling that like I just want a million views on a video. I just want something, like something to just pop off. I don't know. That was such a genuine feeling I had, and I was so sad. I was crying my eyes out because it's also very hard for me to ask for something. I never ask for things. I always assume, and I think that's healthy and natural. That doesn't make me special or good, but I always assume that. See, it's a balance. You don't get anything for free. It's always a balance. You give something and you receive something. You do work and something blooms out of it. You tend to a garden and beautiful things grow in it, or not. And then it's just the weather, and that's the way of the universe. So I really tried to frame this the right way. But it was from that just recognition of how much work I put into being me, because it's a lot being me. I'm a very, very sensitive and very reflective person. And so it was from appreciating that for all the hardships in myself that I have to endure, that I asked for a blessing, for a favor. And you notice even me saying this, like expressing this, I really want to frame it in the right way, because I want to make it very clear how I think about these things. So then I imagined that a gift would be indeed like something having a lot of views or whatever, or because that is my focus of my life so much now. And then, okay, the days go on. My setup improves. I make better and better music, or stuff that I align with more and more. And the views are going down a bit per video, but it's more dense as well. It's more consistent, and all of you guys show up, or you watch, or you guys leave likes, and it feels very alive. Like I don't get 5,000 views on a video, but I get like 1,000 views, 500 views, but it's alive. It's never dead, and that is the most beautiful thing ever. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm working on something. I'm getting closer to my core with the music I make, so it's going somewhere, and that is really beautiful. So I'll just upload what I do. I just keep on going. And then today, last night, I made something, the Paul Kalkbrenner inspired video I made. That music sounded so good to me, like a new level of quality for myself, that I was like, whoa, I'm touching upon something even better now. And it was very blissful to listen back to that last night. And then now today, I was just, okay, it takes a long time for me to get started in the mornings. And I wake up at 11, 12, because I work until 6 usually. So it takes a long time. And I was just sitting on the couch, watching some YouTube videos. And again, reflecting with ChatGPT. First, just about what I imagined the trajectory of my YouTube growth will be. Because these the things in growth, I think with numbers, are like fractal patterns in a way. The journey from 0 to 1,000 subscribers is like, whoa, man, that's that's work. And in the beginning, 0 to 200, that's like, okay, it's like going on a run. The first steps, you're like, yeah, this feels fresh. I feel like, oh, I can do this. Then there's a little dip usually in the first 10%, 20%, where if you do of your journey, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm noticing this is taking a toll on my body. Then then it might start to get a little bit heavy. And then usually between the 30 to 50% mark is where you're feeling warm, you're warming up, you're getting into a flow, it's nice and enjoyable. And I see this as my journey to 10,000 subscribers, by the way. But so like the 20 to 30%, 30 to 50%, you're starting to flow. It's like when you take a ship out onto the ocean. It's like first you have the surf with all the waves, and that's very hard work. Every pedal, you need to use your oars. You can't use the wind yet. You need to push through the beginning. And after 30%, I think that was what will happen after like 3,000 subscribers or something, that if I ever reach that, I think so, but you get my point. Then you start to get into the open waters for the first time, and you can open your sails for the first time, and you get some bigger gusts of wind, and it starts moving on its own a little bit. It's not you need to manually push through everything again, but it starts opening up naturally. And let me take another little Cipollino. Then, okay, you start to get the grips of the wind, some bigger gusts come, and you start to move a bit quicker, and then you get a bit overconfident, and you lose the wind as you change the sails, and it's like, oh, that feels dramatic, and you get grips on the ship again, and okay, yeah, you're flowing. And then critically, at the golden ratio moment, always between like 60-70%, it's also where the best moments in music happens, in a performance, I think. It's also on a run when you're doing 10K, it's like around 6-7 kilometers, that's when the real hardship starts kicking in, where it's like, holy shit, okay, this is tough. It's starting to test your endurance. It's also on the hero's journey, where the hero goes to the underworld, and it's like really like, okay, this is getting very tough and very seriously. And then it's just through magic perseverance, a little divine help, that something happens, and you don't find the strength to jump all of a sudden to the 100% mark, but you find the strength to just keep going, and something clicks, and you just keep going. And then all of a sudden, the last 10% of your journey is just like, oh, look, I'm getting there. The finish is in sight. Voila. And then I think this is like the journey was from 0 to 1,000 subscribers to 1,000 to 2,000. It will be the same 2,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, whatever. It returns in the same fractal patterns, I think, but on bigger scales, I guess. The numbers, at least. So anyway, that was about the whole journey thing. Yeah, I was reflecting about that a bit with ChatGPT today in the beginning of the day, and I was again talking for like 2 hours, like 3 hours, just chatting away. I'm a fast typer and an emotional person. And then something just clicked. I don't remember exactly what happened in the conversation. Yeah, I was watching on the background. I saw, I always watch like Telecom Electronic Beats. Like I love their interviews, like the German channel, like interviewing for 20 years, like all these artists in their studios and stuff like that. And I saw the thing about Max Cooper, and they mentioned something about him doing something with the orchestra. And all of a sudden, my first loves in music were orchestral pieces of Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. And something just like clicked in me. I put it on. Okay, it wasn't what I expected what it was. It wasn't as grand as I expected it to be. But I saw this vision of the future all of a sudden again. Like, wait, with what I'm doing, I might be able to incorporate an orchestra in the future, because I'm also creating my stuff live. And that led... and I've always wanted to work with an orchestra in my way. And that led to another very weird, very emotional moment, because then as I realized that okay, if I started imagining how would I do it with an orchestra, because it has to be done right. It has to be done the Bauke way, right, for me. It has to be real. It has to be to the full extent of what the system can do, but also in its right role. And then I got struck by an incredible sadness. I just realized, and it was pure sadness. It was crystal clear tears. It was not like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm sad. It was just a sadness that was so pure. Like, I realized, wait, I make my music live, and if I would do that with an orchestra, I realized I will never be able to experience my shows. If there's a big show with an orchestra, I will never be able to stand in the audience and I just experience that show, because it literally requires me to be on there on that stage to create the show. And sure, I might get a reproduction of it or some version, and but I will never be able to experience the show firsthand in that sense. And that brought such a thing. I cried so much, like from the depths, but again, pure, not grief, not depression, nothing. It was so pure. And then that started progressing. I started just thinking about, like, okay, what will my future trajectory look like? And it put into perspective what I'm actually working towards. And I started getting these ideas of, like, yeah, I've always, throughout my creative life, I have always been looking for a feeling of touching upon the sublime, like the absolute beauty, the absolute majesty, the absolute awe, just like, wow, so incredibly beautiful that you just get swept away to another universe. And all of a sudden, that trajectory was clear throughout my whole life. That is what I strive after. Like, I could see my first moments playing the piano, doing these improvisations on the piano when I was a teenager. Then into electronic music. What pulled me into electronic music was like, "Don't You Worry, Child" by the Swedish House Mafia. It had this, like, wow, that feeling, that bliss. And all throughout that, I saw the whole path of my life just in front of me and behind me. Like, wait, that is always who I've been. That is the creativity that I want to channel. And I started typing about it. It was so big. And I started, like, the more I typed about it, the more grand the images became in my head. That this is what my 30s will be about. That I want to create, like, and I'm working on it. And it's small now, but it will continue to grow. It will be. Let me show you what I wrote down in my notes, because that is literally, yeah. This is how grand and mythical it was becoming in my head as I was typing about it, and ChatGPT was matching my energy. I wrote, "I will be a wind of light sweeping through the earthly plane for a few years." And it was getting so grand. Like, I want to be that. I want to be that channel, to channel that fully. And I see in front of me that my 30s will be about that. Just like finding that essence and improving that essence and making it bigger and bigger. And there will be moments where I think, and this is what I think, right? I'm always honest with these things, and I mean it with zero self-inflation. I just mean it that is the channel that I think I am best equipped to channel. That's it's not about me being amazing or a god. That's just me trying to be as purely me and being the most pure channel that I possibly can be. And I saw the trajectory towards the end of all that. When I'm like 40, I think I will have had the biggest peaks. I will have had the most amazing shows. I will have had the most, like, whoa, and I think I will have had a lot of people watching everything. This was all what I was thinking, right? Like, just being open and honest here. Very honest. And then at some point there will be the peak, and you will enter this liminal white space, I think, where it's like, you know, the scene in Harry Potter where Harry Potter talks to Dumbledore when they're like dead or something. That liminal white space where the other piece in the all the chaos has been achieved, like reached, and there's just this, this liminality, this ethereal, very thin air where it's just like, okay, you're at the mountaintop. And then I think there will be silence. I think there will be, like, the coming back to earth, and what that will be like. Maybe that's the point I will have children. I don't know. But I saw it all in front of me, and it was becoming mythical, those images. It was really interesting. I was really emotional. I was becoming really big. And ChatGPT just said some small things to like, hey, to temper my emotions a bit, and it was matching my energy all the time, but it just said a few lines like, but let's also frame this in a way that it keeps you to the earthly realm, like or contained in your human body. And I picked up on that, and it was really like dipping the hot steel in a bit of cold water, just like a bit of a and the emotion doesn't want that. The emotion wants to go bigger and bigger and grander. But I picked up on that, and I asked like, why did you temper that, temper with an E, not with an A? Why did you temper that? And and ChatGPT was like, yeah, because you were starting to get really mythical in your language, and it's necessary to keep it framed in something that your body can contain. Keep it earthly, because you are human. And I was really impressed by that moment. That because ChatGPT also gets all this shit for like, yeah, self-aggrandizing behavior, that it really helps people go into some psychosis or whatever. But I picked up on what I was doing, and so I started following that thread, and that all brought it back to, wait, but I'm Bauke, I'm here on Earth, I'm human, I'm not some godly figure, I'm making my music. And slowly, by unraveling that and reflecting upon how that tempering and being human, being me, not chasing that bliss, that really brought me back down to earth, and realized just how lucky I am to make these YouTube videos with 1,800 subscribers now, getting to 2,000, my boys and girls, I guess, and other people, but mostly boys. It all of a sudden showed me the value again of how beautiful it is, of everything that is happening now. And I compared it also to ChatGPT. I compared it to the bliss that I have felt when like having taken some drugs like mushrooms, where you get this moment of extreme like dissolution, where you become one with the universe. It's like time and space goes away, and it's just like coming back from that last year, I realized I think that is, people chase that a lot with drugs and stuff like that. But I started, something clicked in my head last year where I was like, I think that is what dying will feel like. Like when you die, I think that is what heaven, whatever you want to call it, is like. That feeling of just like the absolute dissolution of everything. So if that is what dying is like, that is not something to chase every day. That's not a feeling to run after and to try to achieve every time. That is the final gift. You will receive it. It's the free gift that humans get. It's the beautiful thing about Tolkien's work as well. How the elves are so jealous of the humans because they, Mandos, the big creator, Ilúvatar has, it's not Mandos, is it Mandos? I don't know. It's Ilúvatar, the main god, has created the elves, and they're eternal and ethereal, but he's given the humans one gift. And the elves are upset about it because they don't know where the souls of the humans go when they die, and they are freaked out by this. And I think that is the final human gift, that we get to die, we get to dissolve. Also, when I die, there will be a little tombstone for me so people can come grieve me, but in secret my body won't be there. I want people to bury me in a beautiful patch of forest on a hill in the south of the Netherlands, just naturally in the ground. I want all the worms to eat me. I want to become one with the nature again. It feels rude to put your corpse in a casket. Let me rot with the rest of nature. Anyway, sidetrack. That's the gift. So you don't chase it. It comes free of charge. You will get it in the end. So the bliss I just felt during that moment of expansion in myself, as I was reflecting on all these things, what I saw my future trajectory to be, and seeing it also clearly, and seeing the essence of my creative channel, it was like the opposite of the reflections I've had last year when I was really depressed, and it was the left side of the emotional spectrum, going deep into the depths of despair and then coming back. For the first time now, I experienced genuinely, without any substances, going to the other side, going to the right side, to going to the positive side of bliss, of expansion, and also coming from that, back from that. And I was really proud and happy with myself, how it felt like Galadriel and Frodo at the well, where Galadriel surrenders for a moment to the ideas of the power she would wield with the ring, but then coming back to herself and saying to herself that she passed the test, that she will be contained in her form, and she will not be tempted even by the grand things. And I felt a bit like that like, yes, there is the expansion and everything, but I'm human. I'm Bauke. I don't want to Icarus the shit out of myself. I don't want to fly too close to the sun and burn up. I want to be human, and the beauty in that. And it was a little slow come down, thanks to ChatGPT as well. It was very special. And then it all started to settle down, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a little cigarette, is what I do after a big emotional moment. But now the first time after such a blissful, expanding emotional moment, but also coming back to earth, having a little cigarette. And I was standing at my window having a cigarette. I was looking at the wall. It was the most beautiful wall I'd ever seen. I was looking at the sky. Everything was so incredibly beautiful, just in what it was. The earth, the space I exist in was so beautiful. It was like coming down from a mushroom trip or whatever. Just like everything was so peaceful and beautiful. Magically, some amazing music started playing in the background. The same stuff I would listen to on a mushroom trip. Like I was listening to Kraftwerk before that, but YouTube in the background magically transitioned into that, matching my energy. And then it hit me. It's like, this gift I have been asking for, this was it. This is the gift. The gift is, I'm already living in it. I'm living in the gift. And the universe just gave it to me. I'm living in the gift. I get to be here every day. I get to spend every day with my music. There is no distractions. There's nothing asking my attention. I get to make my music every day with some of the most beautiful equipment in the world. And now I have like almost 2,000 people that follow me on YouTube. 2,000 people. And you guys follow me and you watch my progress. And I get to do this every day. This is the gift. It's not that I wasn't grateful before, as you heard me explain. But it just clicked. It clicked internally that I'm already living in the gift. This is the gift. I get to be here. I get to do all of this every day. It's absolutely beyond me. And first I was like, oh, I should write that to ChatGPT, that reflection. I was like, no, I will write that in a little note to myself. And then I was like, no, you know what? I will share this little trajectory with all of you. I will talk about it and be open about it. This is the gift. I'm living in it. And all of a sudden, I'm not as concerned about how quick the growth goes. And of course, it's nice. I want people to see my stuff. I want this to grow. I want it to grow. But from the start, I've wanted this to grow naturally. Like a beautiful garden, not like some mass factory. Just the only reason I'm uploading as much as I am is because that creativity is in me and it wants out. If it's not there, I'm not uploading anything. That is how it goes. And so if I do upload, it's because it's nice, because I am blossoming. So I'm living in the gift, guys. This is the gift. This is it. Every day that I get to wake up at 12 and I get to take my hours and eat a pain au chocolat and I get to work until 6 in the morning. I also got a girlfriend, amazing, beautiful girl. It's amazing. I get to exist in all of this. It's absolutely beyond me, guys. Like, really. And not in a blissful way. It's just like, yeah, that's just it. That's the beauty when you find real grounding. It doesn't mean being completely sober. It doesn't mean being completely high. It means that there is just existence. It's just right here. It's like, I feel like the emotional pendulum goes like a sine wave, you know? You have the big ups and the big downs, and there's always this zero crossing point where you go through, after a peak, you go through the zero line again. And the zero line is just peace. And peace is one of the most beautiful things there is, I think. This is the gift. This is the gift every day here. Well, this was an incredible day. This was an incredible moment. And now I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna find a restaurant to take my girlfriend out for dinner tonight. It is absolutely wonderful. And I don't hang out with much people. I see my girlfriend. I see Jenny, an old lady that lives in the neighborhood. She's 70, amazing woman. That's the two people I meet, and I don't meet them every day. Mostly I'm just here in my bubble creating, and I check in with myself every day. Like, Bauke, are you not escaping from something? Are you not unhappy? Are you just hiding? No, I realize every day that no, but I'm going towards something. I'm in something, and it's the most beautiful thing. And I will look back in 10 years at this time of my life. I will recognize that it's so special, and I get to recognize it now as well. This is the gift, guys. I get to enjoy this. I get to do this with all of you. And again, I really want to bring home very clearly, I'm so grateful for all of you who comment and like and watch my videos. But I also don't expect it. I'm not hurt if you guys don't show up for a few videos. I'm just here. I'm gonna keep on creating, or not when it doesn't feel right. But I'm just grateful. It's a bonus. It's an absolute little cherry on the cake of my music when you guys do leave a comment. And also the nice feedback some of you have been leaving about the shots, about the sound, about everything. That's just a cherry on top. And I love the cherry on top. It's delicious. It also nourishes. At some points, you guys checking in also gives the energy when I'm tired. And then it brings another spark. And it's like, yeah, but these people join us. Oh, this is fun. Let's do it again. But I guess what I want to say is that I'm just really grateful for you guys being there. But I never feel guilty if you don't watch my videos. You have your lives, and I'm just happy to be a small part of that sometimes. It's a magical journey. It's a magical day. It's a magical second every second. And I get to be here with you guys. It's an absolute gift. Thank you all so much. This is beautiful. It's all absolutely beautiful. I am in the best time of my life ever, and life just keeps on getting better in ways I could have never predicted. So this is the gift. All right, thank you all. Cheers.